Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, The Journey Back to Ro. Today we're going to get into a special reading here. I want to elaborate a little bit more on those energies of death, where it's leading us to, and what the solstice is bringing in for us. This may resonate for twins on a twin flame journey or any other ascending souls, okay? So let's go ahead and get on into this reading. So last video I uploaded, I spoke on, well, not the last video, but the video before that, I spoke on the current energy of death, specifically within the twin flame connection and other divine beings who have come here to ascend and also help the planet and other beings ascend. Basically help bring in this new earth is essentially, if you're here to do that, if that is your purpose, if you've incarnated for that purpose and you are ascending now and preparing for your purpose, that reading was for you. This reading is for you. I don't exclude anyone, like a lot of, and I'm not judging anyone, but some readers only do like twin flames or whatever. And that's their purpose, that's their calling. They've helped me a lot on my journey. But what I want to do is really include everyone, because this is a heavier message, or a heavier, whatever I'm trying to share here is just a lot heavier than just a twin flame dynamic and romance. I do believe that romantic connections help us to learn the most about ourselves, because they bring out the deepest, darkest aspects of ourselves. So that's why I do like to do love spreads. I do like to do love readings for that purpose. They teach us, relationships teach us a lot, especially romantic ones. But anyways, in that reading, I did speak a lot on, you know, just the current energy of death. And during that time, you know, I've almost completely detached from my twin flame connection, and not that I don't desire him and the connection, because I do, but I've detached. I'm no longer focused on the romance side of things. I'm in a space of flowing and being. Whatever is meant to be will be, and I strongly believe that. I have faith, whether that is what I'm desiring now in this moment, or it's something completely different. So I was recently pulling cards. Like every once in a while I'll check on the energy, see how he's feeling, but it's out of curiosity a little bit. Like I'll get a message to do it, or like I'll just start feeling his energy, and I'm like, okay, so what's going on today? And I'll pull a card, and it was usually the Death card, the Hermit card, the Ace of Pentacles paired with the Nine of Pentacles, or the Eight of Pentacles with the Four of Wands. And I was also getting the Seven of Pentacles a lot. So basically Spirit was telling me to detach, because there's something going on behind the scenes. There's something going on here, and I'm feeling like this major breakthrough, like something major is going to happen here. And it's not necessarily only when it comes to reunions between twins happening, but something is shifting in the collective, and not just with twin flames, but other souls who are here to assist in bringing this new earth in. Okay? And we can't do that if we're focusing solely on romance with our divine counterpart. We can't do it. It's a distraction. So if I weren't in the grounded space I'm in right now, it would have been extremely triggering for me to continue pulling the Death card on this connection. But, and Spirit was telling me, let it die. Let it die. Every time the Death card would come out, Spirit would communicate with me, or God, let it die. And like I said, if I wasn't in the position I am in right now, where I'm just fully focused on my mission, getting my messages out, and not even getting my messages out, because Spirit also came to me about that as well. Basically, I'm just getting prepared at this time. I'm preparing myself for something else here. So that's why I'm not worried about subscribers, likes, and comments. I mean, I tell you guys to do that if you feel called to, just so that it has the possibility of reaching more ears that need to hear certain messages. But yeah, let it die. And it took me some time to ponder on this, but with the Hermit card coming out as well a lot, quite often, and the Seven of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles, I knew that Spirit was telling me to detach, because there was work that needed to be done, healing work that needed to be done internally for both myself and him. And by being in communication, that kind of hindered or delayed that healing that needed to occur in the moment. A lot of you guys like to romanticize this, and when are we coming back into union? Union can happen this way. Like, some people are just selling it like you can get into union by doing this and that and this and that, and it's not about union, guys. It's not. It's not about union. Okay, and I hate that this term has been so overused, because people misunderstand what this journey is all about. It is a spiritual journey, and some people are going to choose to ascend in this lifetime by various different methods or ways. That's between you and God. Some people are going to do it by reading the Bible. They're going to be called to the Bible. They're going to be called to preach God's word, but not in the traditional way that we're used to. Some people are going to be called to, I'm speaking of purposes here, but your purpose is your purpose, and God is going to communicate that purpose to you, okay? But like I said, some people are going to be awakened by various different things. Some people are going to be awakened by scripture, meditation, twin flame journey, traumatic experience, a karmic relationship, a soulmate. Your journey is unique to you guys, and try to be open-minded. Even try to be open-minded, but if you can't be open-minded because you're just not in that space, you're not at that vibration, then just allow others to be as they are and experience as they experience. There's something in this book that I'm reading now, the Kabbalion, and I've actually already read it, but it's like one of my favorite quotes here, because I've struggled with this my entire life. What is it? I don't know why I can't remember it all of a sudden now that I want to share it. I don't remember it. The lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding. So remember that whenever you're getting frustrated with people and you're trying to communicate your truth to someone and they're just not understanding, it's just because they're not meant to at that time. So with that energy of death, basically God, the universe, whatever you subscribe to, is preparing you for your purpose, your journey. We are in the final stages of healing, purging old timelines, and being reborn. Okay? That is what that death energy was. I realized that I had to let my twin flame go. I had to let him go. Okay, I had to detach from it completely. And it kind of happened naturally with the assistance of God. Pray. Ask for that assistance if you're struggling with detaching, but you're getting that message to detach. Pray about it. What was I saying before then? Okay, so I had to let that connection die because the old me was dying. I was the old me in that connection, okay? And the old me has died. Just like Christ died, he had died, and he was born again. When a lot of famous people become famous, they kind of disappear for a minute, and they kind of die to their old life. They lose their friends, and they're reborn. And I'm not subscribing to Hollywood or anything they do in Hollywood. I'm just giving an example. It is what it is. But what I was saying was, basically, if you don't let the connection die, even if you guys do end up in union later down the road, you're still going to be relating to each other from that old paradigm, that old timeline, the old you. You're still going to be relating in that way. So you have to let it die. You had to let it die. So when you guys come back together, if it's destined to be, it's going to be like a brand new relationship. And I dreamed about this last night, actually. We came back together and the relationship was like brand new. The slate was just wiped out. It was clean. It was done. So, and even if that's not your destiny or your fate, don't be discouraged, because what you desire right now, like I said, can change, or what you desire may not be in alignment with what God has planned for you. So rest assured that things will work out, even if it's not the way you envision it right now. And the way you envision it right now may change later when you gain more awareness. But so that energy of death, we're dying, okay? We've died, and God wanted us to allow that to die. That's why I was getting the 7 of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles with the 9 of Pentacles, and the Hermit. Is about working on yourself and being grounded in the 3rd dimensional realm, and not focusing so much on the unseen or the occult, you know, the unseen realms, focusing on the romantic side of tarot readings, things like that, because it keeps us distracted and separate from source, creator, God, whatever you subscribe to. It keeps us separated. It keeps a barrier between us and source. We're not doing or getting the guidance we need because we're blocked off. But yeah, God wants you to let it die, let it burn, so that it can be, so that something new can be birthed, a new relationship with this person, or a new relationship with someone else, or no one, maybe a new relationship with yourself, okay? And all of that may occur, all of the above. We're dying to our old ways of relating to people. We're dying to the old ways of relating to ourselves, our purpose, our reason for being here, our religious values or views, our morals. We're just being lifted up. Some Christians would like to say, they like to describe it as being delivered. In the New Age, it's ascending, you know, and you know, the New Age is dissolving ego. In other religions, it's ascending, you know. In Christianity, I think they do describe it as at-one-ment or atonement. It's when you become one with the all, you merge. And I want to get into the light and dark energies, but I don't feel like that's okay for this video, because I don't want to make it too long. I'll have a video on light versus dark, evil versus good, God versus the devil, lower mind versus the higher self, ego mind versus the higher self. I'll have a video on that, and it's just to bring clarification to those confused or lost souls out there seeking guidance from external sources, because that is a phase in our journey, and I don't want to lead anyone astray. And I know there's a lot of misleading information out there from people who, God bless their soul, are just misled, or they just don't really understand the laws of the universe and how things truly work beyond their 3rd dimensional level of perception. Okay, so like I said, we're dying to our old selves. Okay, we're dying, and it's time to start accepting instead of denying, whether this is our own behaviors or behaviors we're witnessing in others, our loved ones or friends, colleagues, whatever. It's about not denying, but accepting and acknowledging and spreading or sharing wisdom when appropriate for those who may be stuck in denial and repeating old cycles, or yourself if you're the one struggling. Let's see. Yes, like, don't make excuses for yourself. Don't make excuses for anyone else, because we're in a stage now where we're needing to die to the bullshit. We're needing to die to the old timelines, our old selves, our old way of relating to people, places, things, beings, ourselves, whatever. Religion, philosophy, everything. It's dying. The old way of being is dying, and we had to surrender. So a lot of us experienced a lot of upheaval. For others, it was a little bit lighter. For others, it was damn near unbearable at points. Some of us got it a little bit easier. Some of us had it extremely hard. But nonetheless, we're going to come out on the other side, and we're all in this together. Okay, we're here for a reason, and that reason is for the greater good of all. And some sacrifices do have to be made in that process, but they're always going to be rewarded with something greater when it's divine, when it's divinely inspired. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get into these energies. I'm only doing oracles today because that's just been what I've been called to do. I was going to pull some tarot, but I'll probably do that tomorrow. I'll get into some divine feminine, divine masculine energy spreads. I might get into a love reading, as I've just been called to do that for some reason, even though, like I said, I haven't been called to do it in the past because I was told to let it die. But now with the summer solstice, we're going to get into the energies that are coming in. We're being reborn. We're having a new perception. We're birthing a new way of being, a new way of relating to ourselves and others. Like I said, I had that dream last night where the relationship with my twin flame was like reset. It was literally reset. And our way of relating to each other, communicating, came from a place of pure love. After purging everything from ourselves that was not, or learning to integrate that shadow side, not allowing it to control us in any way. And like I said, I'll get into the dark versus light energies in another reading because it goes deep. I've just been having a lot of revelations lately, and I've been drawn to like Christian readings, or like a lot of people talking about being delivered from the new age. And I just have so much to say on that topic. But I don't want to get into that here. But energy of the solstice is the energy of being reborn or regenerated after that death energy that we experienced. Some of you may have experienced self-defeating thoughts or like moments of just not feeling good enough. And that came up for a reason. Usually we deny or suppress it by saying something positive like, oh, you're not, it's okay that you overeat, or like just stuff like that. That's just an example. For others of us, it could be stuff like lack of a motivation or something, and you kind of shrug it off and say, oh, I'll get there when I get there, or maybe that lifestyle wasn't just really cut out for me because I haven't been able to make it happen yet. When really there are patterns that we've been repeating in our lives, and we need to get real with ourselves about so that we can ask for deliverance from them or ascend beyond them, integrate them, whatever you subscribe to. And, you know, with that energy, because I experienced that as well, when you stop denying those things, you stop making excuses for those things, and you start realizing why you were held back in the first place. It was because you were limiting yourself. You were stuck in a victim mentality of where things were happening to you versus, you know, just experiences that you had to experience. And instead of learning from those experiences, we kind of cycled back through them because we were in denial. And, you know, it's kind of like hell. It's perpetual. It doesn't stop until you say no. You decide to get off that wheel yourself. Yeah, so Guys, heaven on earth, it's starting now. Christians like to call it the end times. Yeah, the end times. We're ending the old timeline. We're purging it. We're releasing it. We're dying to our old selves. Neo in the Matrix, when he merged with Mr. Smith, he could not defeat Mr. Smith. You can't defeat the dark. You can. It's always going to be there. Why? Because it's part of the same pole. It's the same pole, just opposite spectrums. But then when you meet together and you integrate it, you're able to ascend beyond it or rise above it. You no longer see light versus dark. You see it as the all, the one that it is, because it is. You ascend beyond that. You ascend beyond duality, wrong versus right, God versus the devil, light versus dark. Once that's happened, you're more balanced in your views. You no longer seek to impose your will upon others. Okay? You go back, you become one again with Source. You go back. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. I wasted enough of your time. It's been 20 minutes, but I had to get that out there before I started this. So for the oracle cards, guys, what we have today for the energy and lessons. This is the energy coming in with the solstice, is the intent I gave when I pulled these cards. I embrace the all. I speak with good intent. And I give offerings that are genuine. And I'm going to read for you guys because the messages were just very moving. Alright, so for the I embrace the all, that's actually the last oracle in this deck. Cosmic consciousness is a term first coined in 1901 in the book Cosmic Consciousness, A Study in the Evolution of the Human Mind by Richard Maurice Buck. The central tenet is that cosmic consciousness is a consciousness of the life and order of the universe which is possessed by few men at present. It is a further stage of human evolution which will be reached by all humanity in the future. While at the present moment, the various gradients of the collective consciousness tend to anthropomorphize the idea of the all, that is, as a being. By embracing the ideal of the all, we can find relationship with our true being. Embracing this ideal, we find a relationship with the power of doing as well as being. We allow the stellar force of life to give us gravity in the moments that ground us, but also elevate us through levity, reflection, and creativity in the moments that knock us off our feet. The invisible patterns that govern intelligent design reveal their geometry in nature, the cosmos, and the varying degrees of consciousness you ascend toward as you learn and find your vision by experiencing the all. Okay, that is the embrace the all, and that's what we're coming into, guys. If you're watching this reading, if you're a twin flame collective that I'm channeling or being a part of, this is the energy that's being brought in with the summer solstice, okay? We're beginning to ascend to an even higher level of consciousness or understanding of the inner workings of the all. While we cannot grasp every concept here, we cannot understand the all in this lifetime. I doubt it, because it's just so vast. I don't think it's fathomable by our human minds while we're here in this realm. I don't. But we can embrace it for what it is, for what we know and what we don't know. I speak with good intent. And it's funny that this bird is on this card because today I saw a gray heron. I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly because I've never seen this bird in my life. I didn't even know they existed. That's bad, but yeah, I just said that. I've never seen a heron in real life, and I saw one today. And there is one on this card. So is that not a coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences, by the way. I offer words of good intent. In geometry, a fractal is never ending, infinitely complex series of patterns, self-similar across varying scales. Life, language, and the language by which we live our life can be considered a fractal of sorts, a replication of infinity expressed through the kaleidoscope of consciousness perceived through the human lens. Being a living expression of the ideal to offer words of good intent means understanding that our living word is the light of our light, shines, and intentional language illumines infinite potential for growth and evolution. A consciously chosen vocabulary has the power to create worlds within our words, because if you look beyond the surface of the sound and symbol and dig more deeply, there are hidden fractals to every term. How we define a word is its seed, but its etymology gives it roots, and from these roots the seed finds nourishment to feed its soul, as light gives spirit to the life expressed. Okay. So that's when Christians speak of prayer, that's manifestation. It's metaphysics. When New Agers speak of affirmations, that's manifestation. That's metaphysics. By embracing we understand that nothing is separate, that we're all experiencing life as a human being, and that there is no wrong way to connect with the divine life force, the divine spirit of life. There is no wrong way to do that. It's all about your intention. The last one is I give offerings that are genuine. And this is pretty self-explanatory. When we do things that come from our heart, you see her heart chakra is glowing. It sends these vibrations into the collective consciousness or mind, and it creates more love to flow through other beings in the collective. When we do things from our heart, it activates parts of ourselves, but not only parts of ourselves, but it sends those vibrations out for others to experience as well. God is love. Love is God's word. Don't give things from a space of expecting something back. That's not what offering is. It's giving without the expectation of receiving anything back. And of course, if you don't have it to give, then don't give it, because then you're giving out of obligation. And you're expecting to be paid back, but what you're going to be paid back is grief, suffering, because it didn't come from a place of love. So what we're bringing in with this solstice is being more connected with ourselves, with the universe, with others, with God's source energy. We're beginning to embrace ourselves. By being able to embrace ourselves, if you've been in this hermit energy, it's been for a reason. You were put there to learn something, to really understand yourself. Like I said, with this energy of death, all those bad feelings you were feeling about yourself, and maybe even others too, was brought up so that this time you can make a difference with those ideas, those negative ideas you have about yourself. You can learn to embrace them so that you can rise above them, if you will, by acknowledging that they exist and realizing where they come from and how they've been hindering you and blocking you. By starting with ourselves, speaking with good intent to ourselves, to the universe, we're able to relate better with others. We're able to accept others for who they are and their purpose for being here, for existing. We're moving into a more heart-spaced or a more heart-centered perception of the world, of the universe, with this solstice. Like I said, the old way of being, the old way of thinking is dying. And this is what's being brought in. For the dragons, so usually I shuffle and wait for the cards to pop out. But as I was going to split the deck, I looked at it. Something told me to look. And we get the black dragon here. And the black dragon cocoons you so that your divine potential grows. Meditate, reflect, undergo a metamorphosis, which has been the general theme of this reading today. This is what inspired this reading, this energy here that we're coming out of. You've been placed in isolation for a reason. God put us in isolation for a reason. God made us detached from the twin flame journey or a divine counterpart for a reason. I'm going to start using the word sacred union because the word twin flame has been overused so much. We've been led to detach for a reason. We've been led to this little cocoon to undergo our metamorphosis so we can die. The caterpillar gives way so the butterfly can be born. It transforms. That's what death energy is. It's a transformation. It's from going from one state of being to another. And the black dragon is cocooning you while this process takes place. And while this process is taking place, we should have been, or we've been told to, meditate and reflect, especially with those darker energies coming up. It's not about putting yourself down, but accepting and acknowledging that you have certain traits and behaviors that have held you back, kept you in toxic situations, whatever it was for you. We have Source Dragon, which attunes you to the infinite. Be still. In the silence, magic can happen. Be in the moment. So guys, this is the energy that's coming in. Well, the black dragon is something that's like a theme here. That's what we're coming out of, the black dragon, okay? What's being brought in? We're being attuned to the infinite. Like I said, embrace the all. You can't make this up, guys. This is the energy that's coming in. These are the cards that wanted to come out. I embrace the all. Source Dragon, attuned to the infinite. Energy that's coming in. Golden Orange Dragon, expands your light for ascension. Be a peaceful warrior. Help those in need. Remember your magnificence. Help those in need. I give offerings that are genuine. I speak with good intent. Even if it's an offering of words, kind words. This is the energy we're moving into, though. So this is going to come naturally as we're moving into our purpose. This energy here that the Golden Orange Dragon is bringing in, it's going to help us to expand our light for ascension so that we're able to begin walking into our purpose. Begin taking those steps because it's going to come naturally. Even if you feel like you're not doing the biggest job here, you don't have the biggest following, like I only have like 30 subscribers on here, whatever. Even if you feel like you're not doing much, you are. And you're being prepared, okay? You have been this entire time. but we're now being unleashed. The transformation is almost complete. What's moving in? Imagination. This is aligning with your purpose as well. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Allow those energies to flow within you. Allow things to come to you in dream state. You know, allow the divine to communicate with you. Just open yourself up to that being, that light. God is guiding you here. This is the energy coming in. So we're going to have creativity coming in, urges to create, urges to try something new, projects being born, blueprints being written out. Like, things are getting real now, guys. Like I said, there's an energy shift taking place. New Earth starts now. And I mentioned in the previous reading, if you've had creative blocks or whatever, pray about it. Ask those blocks to be removed. Allow that imagination to flow. Creativity is coming in. So if you've been blocked, that creativity is coming in. Purpose. I know what I am here to do. So if you don't know your purpose, it's coming in. All you have to do is attune to the infinite, listen to your guidance, and take those steps. Those divine steps, those divinely guided steps. If you know your purpose, but you've been stagnant, I feel like this creative energy coming in is going to assist you in your purpose. Like I said, if you don't know your purpose, this is what's coming in for you. And if you are in your purpose, but you're stagnant or you're just starting out, stay connected to that purpose. Remember why you're doing it whenever you feel discouraged. Because it's not just about the individual now. We're moving into the energy of embracing the all, the infinite. We're into the energy of embracing everyone and giving back selflessly. Because that's love. That's God's word. God gave us that word. God gave us that feeling. That's what's being birthed. We're here to assist humanity in raising their vibration, leading the lost. That's a big responsibility. That's why you've been prepared. That's why you've been in isolation. That's why you've gone through hell and high waters. You've gone through the fire. And you've risen, the phoenix from the ashes. That's why. Growth. You can't make that up, guys. I didn't even know this was the last oracle out. You've gone through that for growth. For growth. Because this journey is not for the faint of heart. And God doesn't give just anyone this. And this is not to place anyone on a pedestal or anything. Not everyone comes here with the same contract, soul contract, or responsibility to play out. But if you're a light worker, if you're here to ascend and help humanity ascend, you've been given a golden egg that you have to protect. And it's a big responsibility. You can't just come on here saying whatever you want to people, misleading people. You just have to be careful with what you're saying and doing with that type of responsibility. But like I said, you've gone through the fire, the phoenix rising through the ashes, for growth, for soul growth, to prepare you for your journey. Not everyone has the same purpose here. It's not about levels or hierarchies. It's not about that. Everyone has a different purpose here. If everyone was here to do the same thing, what would be the point of even existing here? Why would Source want to experience life as a human if it was going to experience the same thing with every being here? Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. That's what's coming in, guys. I feel like it's going to be a completion of cycles. Like I said, the butterfly turning into, the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. That death energy of transformation. It was here for a reason. right, so that has been the reading for the summer solstice. I hope you guys have found something here of resonance that you can take with you, that can assist you on your journey. And I hope you tune in on the next video with me. Sending so much love to you all. I may start doing free readings here soon, you know, just to give back. And I don't have a lot of subscribers. I do want to let you guys know who have subscribed to my channel that I am very, 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 very grateful. And I do want to give back to you, because you didn't have to click that subscribe button. You did. You enjoyed my content, and I greatly appreciate that. So expect some free readings to come your way, or the opportunity to receive a free reading to come your way in the near future. But anyways, thanks for joining me on this reading, guys. And I hope to see you on the next video. Bye-bye.